My wife said, "Your paycheck goes into our joint account." "My paycheck is my own." I replied, "That's one way to handle it." Then I did it differently. The look on her face when she saw the joint account had a $0 balance and her name was removed was priceless. Original post: I'm a 38-year-old man married to Melissa, who is 36 for 8 years. We both have jobs. I work in logistics management, making around $85,000, while she's a dental hygienist earning about $65,000. We live a typical middle-class life. When we got married, Melissa insisted on a particular financial setup. My entire paycheck would go into our joint account for household expenses and future plans, while her paycheck would go into her personal account because women need financial independence and it's different for men. I questioned this arrangement at first, but her response was always the same. "Don't you trust me? This is how modern marriages operate. Your money is our money. My money is my backup." Young and naive, I agreed. For 8 years, every dollar I earned went into that joint account. I paid all the bills: mortgage, groceries, insurance, car payments for both cars, vacations, everything. Meanwhile, her $65,000 went somewhere else. She bought designer handbags, got weekly manicures, and took trips to wine country. Whenever I asked her to contribute, she'd say, "I shouldn't have to pay for basic living expenses. That's what husbands do. My money is for extras." 3 months ago, we had a conversation that changed everything. "Hey, the water heater needs to be replaced. It will cost about $3,500. Could you help since the joint account is tight this month? That's a household expense. Use the joint account. But there's only $2,000 left after bills. Then figure it out. Take extra shifts or something. Your salary goes into our account. My salary is my business." I looked at her, really looked. 8 years of this arrangement. Every dollar I earned was ours, while every dollar she earned was hers. The water heater was just the latest example. "That's one way to do it, Melissa." "Exactly. Now stop complaining." That night, I did some calculations. Over the 8 years, she'd contributed exactly nothing to household expenses while spending approximately $520,000 of our money, my money. I estimated she had saved at least $400,000, not including what she spent on herself. I made a decision and started researching. In my state, financial manipulation in marriage can be seen as economic abuse. More importantly, accounts can be changed by either party if both names are on them. Most importantly, my company allows direct deposit changes to take effect immediately if submitted by Tuesday for Friday's paycheck. On Tuesday morning, I went to my bank. Update 1: a week later, Friday was payday. Like clockwork for the past 8 years, my direct deposit would hit the joint account at midnight. Melissa had set up automatic transfers so that $500 would immediately move to her personal emergency fund. Yeah, right. She also had alerts on her phone for all deposits. Thursday night, she was shopping online. "Melissa, your check hits tomorrow, right? I'm buying those Louboutins I showed you. Only $1,200 on sale. My check hits tomorrow." Perfect. And don't complain about shoes. You spend money on your silly tools. I didn't mention those tools were for fixing our house, or that I hadn't bought anything for myself in 2 years. Friday, 12:01 a.m., her phone buzzed, then buzzed again, then started ringing. "Melissa," from the bedroom. "What, babe?" "Something's wrong with the bank app." "What's wrong?" "Your deposit didn't come through. It's showing the balance is $2. "That's weird." She came storming into the living room in her pajamas, phone in hand. "Call your payroll. This is unacceptable. We have bills on autopay." "I'll check in the morning." "Morning? No. Call now." Payroll was closed. There was nothing she could do that night. The next hour, she spent refreshing the app, calling the bank's automated system, getting more frantic. The automatic transfer to her emergency fund failed. Her Louboutin order was declined. Morning came, and she was up at 6 a.m. with her laptop open and the bank website up. Still nothing. "What did you do?" "I took your advice." "What advice?" "You said your salary is your business. So I decided my salary is my business too." The color drained from her face. "You what?" "I opened my own account. My direct deposit goes there now. The joint account is still open, with $2 in it. If you want to contribute your half of the bills, which total about $5,500 monthly, your half is $2,750. You can't do that." "Why not?" "Your money is yours. My money is mine. That's equality, right?" That's not how it works. Your money is our money. And your money? That's different. How? She couldn't answer, just stood there, mouth opening and closing like a fish. Then came the tears, then the anger, then the phone calls to her mother. Update 2. 3 days later, the entitlement escalation was swift and spectacular. First, Melissa tried the emotional manipulation route. On Saturday, she made my favorite dinner, wore that dress I like, and kept touching my arm. Melissa, baby, I understand you're upset. Let's talk about this. We're partners, remember? Partners contribute equally. I contribute. I cook. I clean. I also cook and clean. Plus, I've paid 100% of our living expenses for 8 years. Want to see the spreadsheets? On Sunday, she switched to anger, slamming doors and throwing things into cabinets loudly, muttering about financial abuse. She posted on Facebook about controlling husbands without naming names. I commented, interesting perspective from someone with $400 in personal savings while their spouse pays all the bills. She deleted the post within minutes. Monday, she went nuclear. I came home to find her mother Dorothy and sister Ashley in our living room. Dorothy, how dare you financially abuse my daughter by keeping my own paycheck like she keeps hers? Dorothy, men are supposed to provide. That's your job. Cool. Where's that written in our marriage certificate? You're being a child. Real men don't act like this. Real partners don't hoard $400,000 while their spouse struggles to replace a water heater. That's when Melissa made her biggest mistake. I want you out. This is my house too. Actually, check the deed. I bought this house before we married. Never added your name, just like you never added my name to your savings account. The silence was beautiful. Dorothy's face went purple. Dorothy, you're going to leave my daughter homeless? Me? She has $400. She can buy her own house. Then came the kicker. Melissa grabbed her phone and made a call on speaker. Hi, Roger. It's Melissa Daniels. I need to make a large withdrawal from my personal account. What do you mean? Flagged. Suspicious activity. But it's my money. 3 to 5 business days. Turns out trying to suddenly withdraw $50,000 to teach me a lesson triggers fraud protection. Who knew? Update 3. A week later, the dirty tricks began immediately after the failed withdrawal attempt. First, Melissa called my boss. She actually called my director to tell him I was having a mental health crisis and making irrational financial decisions that she was concerned about. My boss, James, called me into his office. Hey man, your wife called. Everything okay at home? She's upset. I stopped depositing my paycheck into her shopping fund. One of those situations. My ex-wife tried the same thing during my divorce. We're not divorcing yet. Well, for what it's worth, payroll confirmed your direct deposit change was legitimate. HR wants me to document this call from her, though. Seems like harassment. Then Melissa tried to access my new bank account. She went to the branch with our marriage certificate, claiming she forgot to be added to the account. The bank called me to verify. Sir, your wife is here trying to add herself to your personal account. That's not my wife. My wife would know she needs my signature for that. Understood. We'll handle it. I could hear Melissa screaming in the background when they told her no. But Tuesday was the masterpiece. I came home to find the locks changed on my house. New locks with a note. Since you want everything separate, I'm separating you from the house. I laughed, actually laughed. I called a locksmith while standing on my own porch. Legally, if your name's on the deed and hers isn't, I already know. Just get me in my house, please. While waiting, I called the police for a civil standby. Officer Martinez showed up looking bored until I explained the situation. So, she changed the locks on a house she doesn't own? Yep. After hoarding money while you paid all bills and she called your work? Yep. Sounds like you need a lawyer, not a locksmith. Already got one. When Melissa came home to find me inside with a police officer, her face was priceless. What are you doing? I changed those locks. Ma'am, you can't lock someone out of their own property. We're married. It's communal property, like your savings account. Ma'am, is your name on the deed? No, but then you committed a crime. I didn't press charges yet, but I did hand her something else. Here. This is a rental agreement. If you want to stay here, rent is $2,750 a month. Half the mortgage and expenses. First month due immediately. You can't charge me rent. I'm your wife. You're right. Partners split things evenly. So you owe me $264,000 for 8 years of back expenses. The rent option is me being generous. She went pale. I don't have that much liquid. Thought you had $400 saved. That's invested. It's tied up. So untie it or sign the rental agreement or find somewhere else to live. Update 4. 2 weeks later, Melissa tried one more power play. She went full victim mode, calling a family meeting at her parents' house. She invited my parents, my sister, and her whole family, ambush style. I only found out when my mom called asking why we were having an emergency intervention. I showed up with a folder of documents. The setup was dramatic. Melissa was in the center, tears already flowing, surrounded by her support system. I'm so scared. He's become a different person, controlling, abusive, threatening to make me homeless. Her mom nodded sagely. Her dad, Robert, looked stern. Son, this has gone far enough. A man provides. That's how it's always been. Interesting, I replied, opening my folder. Let me provide some context. I pulled out 8 years of bank statements, highlighted and tabulated. 8 years. Every paycheck into the joint account, $680,000 total. Melissa's contribution? Money isn't everything. You're right. So, let's talk about labor. Here's the chore chart Melissa made and never followed. Here are the receipts for the maid service I paid for when she refused to do her assigned chores. Here's the meal delivery service I pay for because she doesn't like cooking anymore. My mom, bless her, stood up. Wait, you haven't contributed anything in 8 years. I contribute emotionally. My sister laughed, actually laughed out loud. Emotionally? You called his job. You changed his locks. That's emotional terrorism. Now, wait a minute. I pulled out more papers. Here's the police report from the lock incident. Here's the HR complaint from her calling my work. Here's the bank fraud alert from her trying to access my account without permission. Those are misunderstandings. Here's her Instagram post from yesterday. New $3,000 handbag with the caption retail therapy because hubby is being mean. Paid for with whose money, Melissa? Melissa went nuclear. That's my money. I saved it. You can't do this. So your money is yours, but my money is ours? Yes, that's how marriage works. The room went quiet. Even her parents looked uncomfortable. My dad, who had been silent, finally spoke. That's not a marriage. That's theft. How dare you? My son paid your bills for 8 years while you saved every penny. Now you're mad he stopped. That's not entitlement, that's delusion. Robert tried to salvage the situation. Perhaps counseling. We tried counseling. Year 3. Melissa walked out when the therapist suggested she contribute to household expenses. That therapist was biased. 3 different therapists said the same thing. The meeting ended with Melissa storming out, her family looking shell-shocked, and my family looking disgusted. Final update, 1 month later. The last month has been educational. Melissa refused to sign the rental agreement and also refused to leave. We lived like hostile roommates while she tried everything to regain control. She attempted to seduce me twice. Both times, I reminded her that intimacy requires trust, and I don't trust thieves. She tried to guilt me with tears daily until I started wearing headphones at home. She had her friends blow up my phone until I changed my number. She even tried to secretly sell my tools and electronics for household expenses until I moved them to a storage unit. But the final straw came last week. I got home to find furniture missing. The living room sofa, the dining table, and the bedroom set were gone. Melissa was sitting on the floor, smirking. I sold them. They were communal property. My half of the money is in my account. Show me the receipts. She did, proud of herself. She'd sold about $8,000 worth of furniture for $3,000 to some quick cash place. Perfect. Those receipts prove you stole my property. Communal property. I bought all of it before we married. I have the receipts. It's legally mine, just like the house. Her smirk died. You just confessed to theft in writing. Over $5,000 makes it a felony in this state. You wouldn't dare. I called the police. They arrived, reviewed the receipts, both mine proving ownership and hers proving she sold them, and arrested her for felony theft. She spent the night in jail. Robert bailed her out and hired a lawyer who immediately called me. Clients willing to make restitution to avoid charges. Full replacement value, $8,000. Plus, she moves out immediately. That seems steep. A felony conviction seems steeper. Melissa had to liquidate some investments. The tax hit must have hurt. She moved back in with her parents the next day. Today, the divorce papers were filed. Her lawyer sent a proposal. She wants alimony, half the house value, and half my 401k. My lawyer literally laughed. She has $400 in savings, no ownership stake in the house, and documented financial abuse against your client. She'll be lucky to walk away without owing him money. The house is mine, the furniture has been replaced with nicer items, the joint account is closed, and my paycheck goes into my account. Melissa has been texting from her mom's phone, begging to work things out, claiming she's learned her lesson and understands partnership now. I responded once, "Your money is your business. My money is my business. That's what you wanted, right?" She replied, "That's not fair. I have expenses now. Rent at my parents', lawyer fees, tax penalties. Sounds like your business, not mine." The best part? Her Instagram went from designer bags and wine country to motivational quotes about starting over and knowing your worth. Her friends who called me controlling have been real quiet since the furniture theft arrest went public. Dorothy called yesterday, crying about how I'm ruining her daughter's life. I reminded her that she raised a daughter who thought theft was a marriage strategy. Robert surprisingly texted me, "I'm sorry we failed her. Good luck, son." Melissa's sister Ashley DM'd me asking if the story was true. When I sent her the spreadsheets, she replied, "Holy SH. No wonder my boyfriend won't propose. My brother thinks I should write a book. How to Lose $400,000 in 30 Days. A Guide to Entitled Spouses." Tomorrow, I'm meeting with a realtor to sell the house and buy something smaller, closer to work. Fresh start. My salary will still go into my account. Every penny. I might take myself on vacation. The first one in 8 years that I won't have to budget around someone else's shopping habits. To everyone saying I should have known better, you're right. The red flags were there. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. When they tell you their money is theirs and your money is ours, run. When they say that's just how marriage works, ask them to show you where that's written in law. And when they change the locks on your house, call the cops, not a marriage counselor. Lesson learned, an expensive lesson, but learned. Edit. Since people are asking, yes, this is all legal and documented. Yes, the furniture theft charge is real, though likely to be pleaded down. No, she can't actually get alimony with $400,000 in savings. Community property doesn't apply to premarital assets in my state. And no, I'm not taking her back, no matter how much she learns her lesson. Edit 2. Melissa created a TikTok about being a financial abuse survivor. The comments are not going the way she hoped. Someone found this post and linked it. The comment section is brutal. My favorite? A girl really thought she invented an infinite money glitch and got system errored instead.